Hello Pisces and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, which we'll jump into in just a second. I do have the tarot deck already shuffled that we'll be jumping into, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember these are general readings. They will not resonate fully for everyone, so do remember to take what resonates and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Pisces, in your recent past, you have released your blocks with the Six of Wands in reverse. Your recent past was about working through and releasing certain energies from your life that kept you from success, that kept you from having the life that you ultimately desire. Because yes, you know, the purpose for this reading is to help you heal and move forward in alignment with your higher self, which in turn will help you create the life that you ultimately desire. Now, sometimes we don't realize how we're holding ourselves back or how we're investing in things that are holding us back. And I feel like a lot of your recent past was bringing that to light so that you could see what those blocks were and ultimately move forward in a better way than you would have been able to if these things in your past didn't happen. Now, in your current energy, you have keep your heart open with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like so much has happened that it's been hard to keep your heart and mind open to the idea that things are actually going to work out for you, because I feel like you're so used to this wheel not turning in your favor that it's hard to believe that it ever really will. But I actually think that this reading is a sign that this wheel has started turning in your favor, and that things, it's almost like, I don't want to say you're like on the up and up necessarily, because I feel like this has been like a long time coming, but I feel like it does feel like Phoenix rising from the ashes kind of energy. Now, you might not feel that yet or be able to tap into that yet, but that's what it feels like is happening, because then in your immediate future, you have stepped into your power with the Magician. And this is really, really cool energy, because this feels like this is you stepping into your manifestation power. And our manifestation power is, you know, being fully in love with our authentic selves and being able to move in alignment with that authentic self and therefore manifest our desires almost, you know, effortlessly. So some really cool energy in the overall energy of this reading, Pisces. I'm excited to see what's going on here. So let's start by looking at your recent past. You have released your blocks with the Six of Wands in reverse. This is for Pisces recent past, clarifying release your blocks with the Six of Wands in reverse. This is for Pisces recent past, please. Pisces recent past, please. Okay, King of Wands in reverse, Hierophant and Lovers in reverse. Okay. Your biggest block, Pisces, especially in your recent past, is that you don't think that you are capable or worthy. Now, the reason that you don't think you're capable or worthy is probably because you've experienced situations that have made you feel like you weren't capable or worthy. And you might be like, capable and worthy of what? I don't know. That's for you to answer. It could be the relationship of your dreams. It could be the career path of your dreams. It could be the financial situation of your dreams. It could be anything. It could just in general be the life that you desired the most. In your recent past, it feels like certain situations were aligning with this energy. Like maybe you were in situations that were making you feel like you weren't good enough or not deserving of whatever it is that you desire. And it seemed like these limiting beliefs that you have about yourself and your life were being proven true through situations that you were dealing with. And that's not it at all. That's not the truth. It wasn't that your, you know, that your limiting beliefs are being proved correct. It's that the universe had to bring them to the surface so that they could be healed. A lot of times the universe will put us in situations that align with feelings of being undeserving or being not good enough, so that we can see that we are deserving and good enough, and almost like to the extent where until we see that we're deserving of more, we don't know that. We don't know we're deserving of more. And so I feel like that's a lot of what your recent past was showing you, was that you were deserving of more. You didn't believe it, so maybe you were accepting less than what you deserve. But let's get more recent past for Pisces, please. Recent past for Pisces, please. Very emotional energy in your recent past. And I feel like, okay, yeah, that's so interesting. Sorry, Wheel of Fortune here. Knight of Cups in reverse with the Ace of Swords in reverse. And then you have the Ace of Cups in reverse, and then there you are as the Queen of Cups, whether you're male or female. Very emotional, almost like pretty painful energy in your recent past. And I feel like those emotions and the triggers that you were dealing with, it made it really hard to see the bigger picture, to see what was happening. Because I actually feel like your recent past was like, it was like things that you had been suppressing over time, like all kind of came up at once. And I feel like that's why it was so emotional. But it, oftentimes if we don't address our emotions and our triggers and our fears and our anxieties and our insecurities, then they will control us. And so sometimes we don't realize, like I kind of said in the overall messages, we don't realize how our blocks are affecting us. And that when they affect us in a place where we're unaware of it, well, then it can actually impact the life that we're able to create. And so basically what I'm getting at is whatever you went through in your recent past, no matter how painful and emotional, I really do feel like it was happening for a reason. And I feel like when you go through things that are really painful and emotional, the last thing you want to hear is like, oh, it's happening for a reason, because you're like, shut up, like I'm just hurting, like just let me hurt, and absolutely you should hurt, you should move through, everything that you need to feel, but it's a lot easier to move through uncomfortable emotions and situations if you can remember that there can always be good that can come from it. We have the ability to transmute negative situations into things that are better than we would have been able to experience if things that didn't go well didn't happen. Recent past for Pisces. One more. This is recent past for Pisces, please. There's the Fool and the Empress in reverse. The Five of Cups and the Moon. Oh, Pisces. Okay. You were in a lot of situations that, man, it feels like you were not being prioritized. Now, whether that's by other people or by yourself, probably both. But in a lot of situations where you were doing a lot of sacrificing your needs and your desires for the sake of a situation or somebody else. And what that is for you, Pisces, is a cycle. I feel like you're really used to this cycle, what I like to call the cycle of disappointment. It's when we invest in something over and over again, whether it's a person or a situation, out of hopes that it's going to change, but things never change or improve and always end up disappointing us almost like in the same way. So if you're in a relationship and you're constantly having the same conversation with somebody about things that are bothering you, but things never change and you always feel disappointed, and this goes on for months or even years sometimes, that's being stuck in a cycle of disappointment. Now, you might be so used to being disappointed by other people in other situations that you might not even recognize the cycle to begin with, because when we get so used to being disappointed by the outside world, we oftentimes will accept that disappointment because we think that that's all that we're deserving of. And, that comes from a lifetime of experiencing other people disappointing you, not showing up for you, not putting you first, not loving you the way that you love. And that can start to become our normal whenever we are unaware of it, because we don't know that we can have any better because we've never experienced better. And that's what this whole healing journey is about, is realizing how we have sacrificed our worth in the past and how it's become a belief that that's what we're supposed to do in order to receive what we deserve. And healing the situations that made us feel that way so that we don't have to live that kind of life, which is why you have Step Into Your Power. This is about taking your power back from people and situations that have taken your power from you. All right. Current energy for Pisces, clarifying, keep your heart open with the Wheel of Fortune. Current energy for Pisces, please. Current energy for Pisces, clarifying, keep your heart open with the Wheel of Fortune. So, I got it. Okay, hang on. Actually, I want to pull a card first and then. Six of Swords. Oh, actually, yeah, okay. I want these three. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Wands in reverse, and the World. First, I kind of had a message come through when I was shuffling. You know, because you have to keep your heart open with a Wheel of Fortune. When you've been in situations that you aren't treated well, you're not getting what you deserve, you're not getting even what you desire, it can be hard to believe that things are ever going to be different. Again, and I kind of said this in the overall energy of the reading, it can be hard to believe that the wheel is ever going to turn in your favor. Now, at the same time, we have to remember that our expectations of our reality is what creates our reality. Our thoughts become our beliefs, become our actions, become our reality. What we think about is going to be what we believe. What we believe is going to be how we act, and how we act is going to be what we create. When we think that it's not possible, that we're not deserving, that we're not worthy, that's going to be a core belief for us, and we're going to act on those beliefs, and the situations in our life are going to continue to reflect back at us that quote unquote truth. Even though it's not a truth, it has become a truth to you. Now, this is about moving forward from these situations, moving on and taking your power back, because there's some cycles here that need to close in your life. I feel like you still hold a lot of resentment regarding your past, and I'm not going to say it's not justified, because you are justified to feel the way you do, absolutely, but you don't want to let that resentment and that anger for what you've been through start to become a driving force for you. You want to make sure that you're freeing yourself from the past just as much as you can. And sometimes when we have a lot of anger and resentment and frustration towards people who have hurt us, whether or not we realize it, those people still have power over us. And so much happens on an energetic level, especially in relationships. So even if someone has been removed from your life and you still have all of these negative feelings for them, you're still feeding that connection, and you're going to still continue to feel the way that you do. So closing out a cycle with someone or something, I feel like is a really big theme for you right now. And sometimes that is coming to a place of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is tricky because it can feel like we're doing something for someone else, but it's actually an act of self-love. When we're able to forgive someone for their wrongdoings, we're able to see that everyone is doing their best, and though some people might not be doing as good as they should be doing, holding on to the resentment and the anger is only hurting you. All right, current energy for Pisces, clarifying, keep your heart open with the Wheel of Fortune. And maybe that's a lot of different people. Maybe it's, getting to a place of forgiveness with a lot of people who have hurt you. Current energy for Pisces. Ten of Wands. There's something or someone that is still in your way. And maybe it's what I was just talking about. I want more on this Ten of Wands, because this Ten of Wands to me is like burden, blockage, specifically in these messages. It can be a lot of different other things. But then you have the Tower in reverse. Clarifying this Ten of Wands. Clarifying this Ten of Wands for Pisces current energy, please. I mean, yeah, it's why things aren't moving forward. There's something blocking you, some sort of burden that you're carrying from your past. I want to know what this burden is. I feel like I'm going to have to keep pulling messages. Because, yeah, you have the Chariot in reverse. Like, yes, this burden is why things are not moving forward, why you're stuck. So what is it? Can I get more for Pisces current energy? More for Pisces current energy, please. There's a Tower in reverse again, and the Seven of Pentacles. The belief that everything always ends in disaster. That's what this is. It's the expectation and the belief. That's why this Tower in reverse, this is like inevitable. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles. So it's like the belief that whatever you invest in will inevitably lead to disaster. And that's probably because you've experienced a lot of things falling apart, or a lot of pain from a lot of different situations. That's not a truth. It might be your truth because it's what you've experienced, but it doesn't have to be your truth. When things fall apart, the reason that they fall apart is because they weren't meant for us. And that can be difficult because we can think sometimes that things are really, really meant for us. And then we come to find out later it's a lesson. And that sucks because it feels like we can't trust ourselves. It feels like we can't trust the universe. Not everything always has to end in disaster or it has to come crumbling down. It is absolutely possible for things for you to sustain abundance, and specifically abundance that's meant for you. But learning why things have fallen apart in your life to this point, why friendships, relationships, career paths, financial situations, why things have fallen apart, and the reason behind the tower, which is like things kind of crumbling down, feeling like you have to start over. Learning the why behind it is the only way to ensure that you don't repeat the lesson. Because things don't just happen just to punish us. Things happen for a reason. And sometimes the reason is that you had to get your heart cracked open to tap into a whole new version of yourself. And sometimes that feels very unfair. But the more that we can look at life as a classroom and not a punishment, and specifically the things that don't really go all that well for us, the better it's going to, the easier it's going to be for us to move forward and start to create a better life for ourselves. Because if we don't learn what we need to learn, we're always going to believe and expect the worst. And you expect the worst because you've experienced it. So you're valid in the way that you feel. But that's what I was kind of talking about, like that resentment and that anger towards your past. If you hold on to that, you'll expect that that's how things are always going to go, especially if you're dealing with a relationship. So there's a lot, and then that expectation will sabotage anything in the future that that does show up in for you. So it's a kind of a deep reading, but I feel like, I don't know, it feels like it's very powerful for you and what it is that you're capable of creating in your life. So immediate future for Pisces, clarifying, step into your power with the Magician. Immediate future for Pisces, clarifying, step into your power with the Magician, please. This is for Pisces immediate future. Immediate future for Pisces, clarifying, step into your power with the Magician. The Star. The Star and the Hangman. I like that combo. The more that you heal from your past, the more that you heal in general, heal from what's hurt you, heal from pain and trauma, just heal in general, the more you're going to be able to let go and lean on faith. Your power it's a very vague term, right? And your power is going to look different for everyone. It's going to be, your confidence, your level of faith, your certainty in yourself and your capabilities. But that power can't be tapped into if we have past experiences that have taken our power, still affecting our ability to step fully into our power. I'm trying to think of an example. Like, say that you were in a relationship with someone who cheated on you. And that relationship, you don't heal fully, and you get into a new relationship. And that new relationship, you're going to have these expectations that that person is going to cheat on you. Maybe in the first relationship, the reason that it happened was because that person wasn't meant for you, and they were showing you red flags, and you were ignoring them, and you were loving them more than yourself. And then eventually it came down to the worst happening. And then in this new relationship, since you haven't fully healed and you haven't fully learned your lessons, you have these expectations and you end up pushing that person away. And so whether or not you're aware of it, the past person who hurt you still has control over your current environment. And so and that's not what I'm saying is happening. In fact, that's a very general example. But if we don't heal from what has happened to us, we will expect those same things in our environment, and we will act on those expectations and almost in a way like create them, or push people away that we shouldn't push away. And so your immediate future is about learning that the more you heal, the more you can let go and have a little bit of faith in the universe that everything really is happening for a reason. Even if you don't know what that reason is yet, it is happening. And then you have to step into your power with the magician. It's almost like you're becoming the magician through your healing. Immediate future for Pisces. One more. This is for Pisces immediate future. Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. All the work that you've been putting in is all helping you get to this Ten of Cups, this long-term emotional wish fulfillment, whether that's in relationships or whether it's fulfillment in other areas of your life. And sometimes when things end and we go through situations that don't end up working out, it can feel like we failed. It can feel like we gave up on something, or something gave up on us, and we're having to start over from the beginning. And though that is true in a lot of different ways, when certain things end in our life, what it actually is it's setting us up for more success than we would have ever been able to have if that didn't happen, because of the lessons and the growth that we gain from those experiences. And so trying to look at your past, even if it's painful, and obviously I don't know you or what has happened to you, so bear with me, this still might not be your reading. If you're like, well, I've been through this, if you have this like tragic backstory and none of this resonates, then this just might not be your reading. But if we can look at our past through the lens of trying to learn what it is that we need to learn and embracing those lessons, those past experiences won't repeat themselves. And we'll have the peace in knowing that they happened and we've healed from them, and we can carry, again, the growth and the lessons forward in a way that we never would have been able to move forward if those things hadn't happened. And so I feel like sometimes it's really easy to look at things that didn't work out in our life as a failure, or as things not working out for us, when in reality, things are always working out for you. Things are never happening to you, they're happening for you. And that's difficult to understand when you're going through it. But it's also a very freeing realization that can set you up for a lot of success. Immediate future for Pisces. Immediate future for Pisces, please. Seeing the truth of your past is the only way that you're going to be able to step into your future. Look, and then you have the Wheel of Fortune there with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Tower in reverse. It's the only way you're going to get that wheel to turn in your favor. Seeing the truth of your past, why things happened the way that they did. One of my favorite sayings is that the only way to truly grow, heal, and move forward is to learn to accept accountability for the role that you have played in your own suffering. That can be a very triggering truth for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't want to admit that they've played a role in their own suffering. But if you consistently look at the world as being out to get you and being a victim, even if you are a victim, I'm not saying you're not, but the more that you can, find the role that you've played and learn again what you need to learn, the more that you can create a better life for yourself. Otherwise, if you don't learn, how do you know you're not going to repeat those same experiences? If you don't understand what led you there and what limiting beliefs were involved that attracted it into your life, then you're never going to learn what you need to learn, and you will repeat those cycles. So learning the truth of your past, why things happened the way that they did, can be, again, a very freeing truth that can get you to the point of being able to step into your power and create the life that you are ultimately deserving of. Okay, we're going to hop on over to the extended. This is what you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. We're going to look at what you need to do right now in order to move forward. So I'm going to dive deeper into these messages and the advice, and then I have an actual advice card to pull from Spirit at the end. Thank you so much, Pisces, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Pisces, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Pisces.